Well, good afternoon, one and all. My name is Tom Perez. I'm the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. On behalf of the residents of this city, I want to welcome to Milwaukee the 2020 Democratic National Convention. As a city, we could not be more proud. As a state, we could not be more proud. This city was founded in 1846, the state in 1848. And for the first time in the history of the city and the state, Milwaukee and Wisconsin will be hosting a major political national convention. We all know that the competition for conventions like this are fierce. There's competition from the East Coast. There's competition from the West Coast. There's competition from the Gulf Coast. And I am here today to welcome all of America to America's Fresh Coast, because that is where this convention is going to be held. And it's important that it be held here. It should be held here, because Milwaukee and Wisconsin are in many ways microcosm of this nation. When people ask me how Milwaukee is doing, my response is, we're fighting back. And we are fighting back. And this state is fighting back on two fronts. We're fighting back locally because we were a city that for many years was the blue worker capital of this country. And we lost a lot of those jobs. And our economy has changed. But we're fighting back, trying to get more jobs so people can support their families. At the state level, we faced 8 years of hostility, and now with Governor Evers and Mandela Barnes, we're back fighting in the governor's office as well. So when we first started thinking about this back in 2013, we knew that there were challenges. The Fiserv Forum didn't exist. Now it's the most technologically advanced arena in the country. We had far fewer hotel rooms than we have right now. But fast forward 6 years, and Milwaukee and Wisconsin are ready to roar. We are ready to host this convention, and we're ready to make sure that all of America knows how much we care about the working people in our community. That's what this is about. The convention's about working people, it's about the elderly, it's about farmers. All of those individuals are right here in the state of Wisconsin. So this was a team effort, and we asked Alex Lasry from the Bucks to help us lead this effort. And he stepped forward, as did all of the Milwaukee Bucks organization. You can see the Milwaukee Bucks. They have the best record in the NBA right now, and that's no accident. That is no accident. The way the Bucks are playing, this convention is going to be as good as the Milwaukee Bucks are right now. It is going to be the best. With that, please welcome Alex Lasry. Alex.
Well, thank you. And I just want to thank the mayor. We would not be here without him. We wouldn't be here without Chris Abley, who I know couldn't be here today, but I just want to thank him for all of his hard work. Congresswoman Moore, Martha Lanning, Jason Ray and Mandela and Governor Evers and everyone. This is such an incredible experience, and thanks to the DNC for choosing Milwaukee. You know, when we first set about going to get the convention, people were asking, us like, hey, why should we do this? What's in it for Milwaukee and Wisconsin? And what makes this convention so special and what makes it so special for Milwaukee and Wisconsin is the fact that this is our chance to reintroduce the city on the international stage. Milwaukee has been claimed to be, the best kept secret in the Midwest. And as of today, Milwaukee is being outed. We are now going to be known around the world, and when the eyes of the world are upon us, we're going to put our best foot forward. And it's going to be 50,000 people coming here, over $200 million of economic impact. This is a game changer for the state, for the city, and I think what's most impressive is the fact that we went up against two of the best cities in the country. two of the biggest cities in the country, and Milwaukee prevailed. And so the next time someone tries to say that Milwaukee can't handle something, or that Milwaukee is too small or not capable, this is, our punch back. This is the evidence that we can do anything we want when we reach for it, and we will no longer be defined by our limitations, but will now be a city that is going to constantly dream big and look to do bigger things. And so I want to thank everyone, especially in the Milwaukee community. We would not be here without all of their support and all of their hard work, and we look forward to bringing everyone into this, making this a convention that is made in Milwaukee, made in Wisconsin, and making this the most successful one, most successful convention yet. So thank you, and go Bucks.
Great job. Great job. As Alex mentioned, there are so many people that have helped thus far, but more are going to be needed. We are looking for 12,000 of our closest personal friends to volunteer at the convention. That is something that is imperative we have. But I want to just point out a couple people, and I'll do this as we move through. Mary Shanning from the City Attorney's Office, and Andrea Fowler did a lot of work. Chief Morales from the Milwaukee Police Department, they've already begun their work. The first person from the business community to step up, not surprisingly, John Schliske from Northwestern Mutual. Thank you, John Schliske. And there are countless others that have been involved up to this point. One person who has been involved from the very beginning is our wonderful Congresswoman. And she's got a busy day today. Congresswoman Moore not only is a great Congresswoman, she's a great mother, she's a great grandmother, and as of this morning, she's a proud second great-grandmother for her new baby. Please welcome Congresswoman Moore.
Well, good afternoon, Milwaukee. Just let me say that we're known around here for being the home of the cheeseheads. But from now on, we're going to be known as the DNC having a good head on their shoulders and choosing us. We're the chooseheads from now on. Listen, I am so proud to be here with the other co-hosts for this event, and of course, Senator Tammy Baldwin couldn't be with us here today, and of course, you've heard that Chris Abele is not here, but we do have Governor Tony Evers, who's here with us today, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, who's here with us today, and we're going to put that old Democratic spirit into this convention, and it's going to be the Democratic convention of all conventions. Just let me say a couple of things about this great place on the Great Lake. We have so much to share with the entire country of delegates who are coming here. We're expecting about 7,000 people and maybe 50,000 people when you consider all of the partners and mates and staff and others who come along with them. So we're expecting them to come, and we're going to have plenty of brats, lots of beer, lots of cheese, but more importantly, we're going to have the friendliest folks. They're going to get that great Midwestern hospitality that only we can provide here in Milwaukee. I am so proud of our partners, the Fiserv Forum, the Bucks, for partnering with us to make sure that this dream could come true. And I'll tell you, this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot of hard work. And so there are a lot of people who are not on this stage that are going to be in the background making sure that this is not just something that serves one sector of our community, but this is an opportunity to display not only our diversity in terms of the numbers of people who live here, but those businesses, small businesses, African-American businesses, Hispanic businesses, Asian businesses, Christians, Muslims, people of no faith, everyone who can come together around the idea of making sure that that $200 million economic impact gets spread around the city. And trust me, that will be my role in this convention, to making sure that that happens. And last thing that I want to say is I just want to thank Tom Perez for choosing Milwaukee. I know that you're going to have some sleepless nights coming up when you hear from some of our colleagues. I promised Sheila that we would treat her like a queen when she got here. I just want to thank a couple of other people that haven't been mentioned. We have DNC members here, Martha Love. Oh, David Bowen is standing there. Our state party chair, Martha Lanning, is here with us today. And thank them all for partnering. The hard work begins right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Carrie Pennebaker as well.
Oh, Carrie. I was looking right at you, Carrie Pennebaker. You were dressed for success. That's why I didn't.
A couple other people that I want to point out here. Just an hour and a half ago, our Milwaukee City Council unanimously agreed to our city contract. That was led by the president of our Common Council, Ashante Hamilton. Hey. Cavalier Johnson is here as well. Thank you very much. Went through unanimously. Good job. Very good job. Signed, sealed, and delivered. That's great, great news. Organized labor. Stephanie Bloomingdale is here as well. Thank you. SEIU, in addition, NEA have been incredibly helpful. Visit Milwaukee deserves a round of applause. Visit Milwaukee. So some 17 years ago, there was a young man who decided to move to Milwaukee to go to Marquette. 18 years old, from Rice Lake, Wisconsin, by the name of Jason Ray. And he took this town by storm. He started then, and he hasn't stopped now. Working for justice, working for equality, a great, great spokesperson and leader in the LGBTQ plus community, and now the secretary of the National Democratic Party. That's right. Let me introduce Jason Ray. Jason.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to all of you for being here. You know, I am proud to be a DNC officer. I'm proud to be our DNC secretary, but I'm even prouder today to be Wisconsinite and to be welcoming the 2020 Democratic National Convention here to Milwaukee. This is a wonderful opportunity for our city, and I am thrilled about this. I've had the pleasure and privilege to attend 4 different Democratic National Conventions, and this will be my 5th. And I can tell you, Milwaukee is ready to pull out all the stops to have the absolute best Democratic convention we have ever seen. I want to thank Chair Tom Perez for trusting the people of Milwaukee, knowing that we can put on a show that will rival anything else. So, Mr. Chair, thank you for choosing Milwaukee. I want to thank Mayor Barrett, Alex Lasry, Congresswoman Moore, Senator Baldwin, Executive Abley, and the entire team that has really worked to bring this convention to fruition. This is going to be a wonderful opportunity for our city, for our state, and most importantly for our region. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you as we build towards July 13th and 16th of 2020 when we welcome the world here to Milwaukee. So thank you.
Since I didn't bother to introduce Jason Ray, he will have a very insignificant role at the Fiserv Forum on the night when we nominate our nominee. Very, very, very low-key job. He will be calling the roll of the 50 states for the delegates vote.
Well, before I introduce our next speaker, I want to make sure that Chairman Perez and his team knows how much we value the work that you have done, not only here, but in the other communities. Mr. Chairman, I know that this was a difficult decision. I know that all 3 cities put forth everything that they could. I know that there are risks involved whenever you make a decision, but I guarantee you we will not disappoint. I guarantee that this city will step forward. But I want to personally thank you again for your leadership on this. I want to thank Jess O'Connell. I want to thank your whole team. You have a great team, and I'll always remember the first day we came into this building. This building was 2 days old at the time. If you ever want to show off a building that's $500 million, show it off when it's 2 days old and no one has been in it. It looks really, really good. And I think that that was really the start of something special. So we're very, very pleased again. The next person I want to introduce is a person who has created history in the state of Wisconsin. Mandela Barnes is a leader. He's a new generation leader. And he loves to talk about how he and the governor formed this perfect team, and they do form a perfect team. I'm proud, very proud, that at one point he served as an intern in my office, and now he's essentially my boss. But he's come a long way, and he's got a long way to go. Mr. Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes.
Thank you so much, Mayor Barrett. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Congresswoman. And thank you all for being here. It is fancy seeing you all here today. All right. A lot of acknowledgments have been made about the people who worked so hard to put this together, but I do want to take a moment to acknowledge a lot of the hard-working people I see around here that keep this building running day and night. All the fantastic employees who keep this state-of-the-art building just running in tip-top shape, and the people who are going to make sure that this convention goes off without a hitch. I see a lot of you in the audience right now. I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you're going to do for this entire convention. I see a lot of Milwaukee area service hospitality workers in the room as well. So thank you for your support. This is an exciting day for the city of Milwaukee, for the state of Wisconsin, and for the Democratic Party as we pave a new way, a new direction, which really isn't a new direction at all. When you look at the city of Milwaukee and what it means to working class people, to have working class roots, and to support that through organizing. My story here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is a person who's still a resident of the city of Milwaukee. I am proud of my roots here. I'm proud of the fact that my grandfather chose Milwaukee after serving in the war. I'm proud of the fact that my parents chose to stay here. My mother moved to Milwaukee from Birmingham when she and my dad got married. It was because of my middle-class upbringing that was provided in this blue-collar community that Mayor Barrett talked about that allowed me to stand here in front of you today as Lieutenant Governor. And the sooner we get back to those roots is the sooner we'll get back to changing the direction of this entire country. So I'm proud that Milwaukee was chosen. It was not an accident, and it's not lost on us, the strides that we must continue to make for opportunity, for fairness, for justice. And that's why we're in this fight. Milwaukee is a story of resilience, it is a story of hope, and it is a story of opportunity. And I think you are going to witness that firsthand, not just when the convention rolls around, but all the days leading up to it and all the days after. So Governor Evers, was very excited to run with you during our entire campaign, very excited to serve with you as Lieutenant Governor. If you look on the heels of 2016, Wisconsin was an example of how do we bounce back? How do we try to recreate America in a more positive image? That is what we stand for. And that's what we're going to continue to stand for. And that's how we're going to lead by example. And so in 2018, we had a really great, exciting year. And we plan to carry that momentum into 2020 and beyond. And so, Alex, I'm excited about this arena. I've been here a few times now. It is going to be very overwhelming. A lot of people in this room are going to be put to work. It is not going to be easy, but it's something that we are more than ready to pull off. We've done big things before, and we're going to do bigger things in the future. So with that being said, the governor of the state of Wisconsin, the man who's made us all proud, one of the main reasons why this convention is going to be brought to Wisconsin, because you showed us what it meant to lead with a vision. And in 2020, there's no greater year than to lead with a vision. So with that being said, Governor Tony Evers.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So, thank you, Mandela. And I also want to recognize Sarah Godlewski, our state treasurer, who's also here tonight. Now, this is really interesting for me because I am absolutely not a superstitious person, never have been, and frankly never will be, except for yesterday. I see that there's one person in the audience here who's wearing the 2020 DNC convention, and that was given to me, that shirt was given to me about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And when it was given to me, I said, I am not wearing this. We don't know if we're going to have it. And just yesterday, my wife and I were walking out the door, and I said, I want to wear this. And I had it almost on, and I said, no, I cannot do that. And I put it down, and by God, here we are today. This is outstanding. I'm so excited. And yes, Mandela, our campaign was somewhat of a precursor to this event, but it is without a doubt something that I am looking forward to. My first Democratic National Convention. How about that? And I can't wait to be here for that. The thing that strikes me as I've talked to people, calling people for support for this event for the last several months, is that people, when I talk to them in this respect, the ability for us to showcase Wisconsin as a place where we value diversity and inclusivity and value young people, we can do that with this convention. That is so important for the state of Wisconsin. We're a great state, but we need to have some vitality and making sure that people understand how great this city and how great this state is. And so when I've used that pitch, frankly, I've gotten support. I've actually had people say, yes, this is something we want to get behind. And so I'm pleased to not only represent the state of Wisconsin at this event today, but I can't wait to be here for the convention itself. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of drama, all the things that make my life interesting every single day. And nothing better than drama, and we've got a lot of it in this state. But Milwaukee has always been and always will be the economic engine of this state. Milwaukee has always been a place where we struggle a lot, but we solve a lot. And that is what this last race for governor was. There were some really basic issues around health care and transportation, making sure that we have a great education system here in the state of Wisconsin. And those are, frankly, blue-collar issues. People in the state want those issues. That's why Mandela and I and others were elected. So with that background, I feel confident that having the convention here in Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin will bring not only people to understand how great the state is, but actually will bring us a win in 2020 in the presidential race. So I'm looking forward to that. I also have to recognize and introduce Chairman Tom Perez. Tom has been a great fighter for us. He was here when Mandela and I were running, and he came all across the state with us, and he came back at the last minute to kind of push us over the top. And I can't thank him more than we're having this recognition today. Tom has been a great friend for Wisconsin. I know he had a difficult choice, and I know there was issues that had to be resolved, and he did it in a fair, constructive way. And as I said before, I never put that shirt on until I will get home tonight and put it on. But Tom is a champion, not only for the state of Wisconsin, but for Democrats and working people all across this country. And it's my honor to introduce Tom Perez.
Thank you. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here today. And don't forget, folks, 490 days. And this place will be hopping. 490 days, and we will have a discussion about how to retake our democracy in the city of Milwaukee. That discussion will not only ripple across Lake Michigan, it will ripple across the world. 490 days before we formally nominate our Democratic candidate in what will be the most important election of my lifetime, and I suspect everyone in this room's lifetime. That's what it's about. And I am so proud to be here today. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to say thank you to so many people who have been involved. People on our DNC team. I see a guy in the back there who always moves to the back of the room. His name's Sam Cornell. Sam is our deputy CEO.
Sam has been involved in site selection. Graham Wilson is our attorney who's been working very closely with the city attorney. We've had so many other folks. Jess O'Connell can't be here today. She led our site selection team. We had a bunch of incredibly talented people who did so many things. It is always an honor to work with Gwen Moore. You have a powerhouse in D.C. You all know that, but I'm here to say that is the case, okay? And Jason Ray has transformed the DNC. The secretary position is one of the most important positions in the DNC. And Jason came in, he said, we are going to transform this office, and he did just that. And he did it in short order. So Jason, thank you for your leadership. And I did not know Mark Lasry until this process began, and I didn't know Alex Lasry until this process began. And I've gotten to know Alex Lasry incredibly well over the course of the last year. Alex has gotten a lot of calls from a lot of people at the DNC, and he has been so responsive every single time. We got more work to do. Make no mistake about it. Today is the end of one chapter and the beginning of another chapter. And Alex understands that. Everybody understands that. Mayor Barrett has been, again, someone with whom I have a speed dial relationship. He knows my number by heart, and I know his number by heart. That is a fact. And Mayor, thank you for your responsiveness. Thank you for your leadership. This is, in many respects, your day because of the great work that you have done here. And I want to say thank you. And to the dynamic duo here. I mean, this is a remarkably dynamic duo. Behind them sit one of the best party chairs in America, Martha Lanning. Okay? And to her left, David Bowen and Martha Love. And the man who always has his gun violence reduction on. And we were so happy that Gwen Moore and others led the charge in the U.S. House of Representatives. So, you know, roughly 2 weeks before the election, I went on a nonstop tour of the country. It was the most important midterm election of our lifetime. We were proud to have made unprecedented investments here and elsewhere. And I went to about a dozen states in the last 10 days. And as luck would have it, good fortune, I would say, would have it, my last visit the day before the election was here in the city of Milwaukee. I spent time with Mayor Barrett in South Milwaukee at a remarkable supermercado con Jocasta, el rey, y yo pasé tiempo con Voces de la Frontera, una organización magnífica que cuida y apoya a la comunidad hispana. I spent time with the Native American advocates who understood that our voice is our vote, and our vote is our voice, and our numbers are our power, but if we don't exercise the right to vote, we lose our power. I spent time with a remarkably impressive group of people called Bloc, B-L-O-C. I don't know if anyone from Bloc is here, but y'all got game. Angela, thank you for your leadership. I spent time with so many people in the Wisconsin Democratic Party because it was a remarkable partnership, Martha. Spent time with a lot of union folk who were out there getting out the vote. And they were doing remarkable things. This was all in the last day, the run-up to the election. And prior to that, I had been in rural Wisconsin listening to folks. And what I am most proud of is that the Democratic Party has again become an every zip code party. We're listening to people in every corner of the country. And that is what we did the day before. Had the privilege of spending some time on FM radio here. I had the privilege of spending some time on Spanish language radio here in Milwaukee. Had the privilege, in short, of seeing America in microcosm, right here in the remarkable city of Milwaukee. And it was all in service of electing Democrats up and down the ticket, and it started with these two wonderful people, Tony Evers and Tony and Mandela. And I'll tell you, on Election Day, after a decade of Republican attacks on working people, on labor unions, on communities of color, attacks on voting rights, attacks on education, the people of this state said loudly and clearly, enough is enough, and we swept all of the statewide races. That's a big deal. And if Joe Biden were here, he'd have another acronym for that, but I won't say it. Okay? And I will say one more thing, but for gerrymandering, that we would have won a lot more seats. And the governor's going to fix that. And frankly, across the region, from Minnesota to Illinois to Michigan to Pennsylvania, and across the country, from Maine to California to Arizona to Oklahoma to North and South Carolina and elsewhere, we proved that 2018 across America, Donald Trump and his Republican Party are an exception, not the direction of our country. Folks, the Democratic Party is back, thanks to the voters here and elsewhere, and we're back with a renewed sense of purpose, demonstrating that we will win this fight for working people, that we will compete in every zip code, that we will fight for communities of color, for women, for the next generation of voters, for those living in the shadows. And we will win these fights. We are halfway up the mountaintop. But we know a lot more work remains. The second half of a climb up the mountaintop is harder than the first half. But we have an army of people because our democracy is on fire. It's a 5-alarm blaze. And we have first responders in this room and elsewhere prepared to take back our democracy. And folks, every single question I ask, every single decision I make as DNC chair is motivated by one overriding concern. How can we win elections and take back our democracy? And toward that end, I am thrilled to announce that in 2020, for the first time in history, the Democratic Party's national convention will be held right here in the great state of Wisconsin, in the great city of Milwaukee. Let me underscore something that the mayor said, because it is so true. This wasn't easy. We started out with almost 10 cities, came down to 3. And they were 3 spectacular cities: Miami, Houston, Milwaukee. They had spectacular bids that they put forth. It took us a little longer for the simple reason that we had a dilemma, what I would call an enviable dilemma. I always strive in life to have enviable dilemmas. Contrast that with the other side. They had 0 options. And then they twisted the arm of one city to take their convention. And it's a wonderful city, I might add, Charlotte, North Carolina, led by Vi Lyles, the first African-American female mayor of the great city of Charlotte. But I wanted to say again to Mayor Gelber and his chief of staff, Michelle Berger, in Miami, and the bipartisan group of mayors who came together around their bid. They were spectacular. Houston is another unbelievable, vibrant, diverse city. Mayor Turner with his team, Barb and Susan. One of the main people involved is the owner of the Houston Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, a restaurateur, entrepreneur. Jim Crane, so many others put together a compelling case. And my good friend Gilberto Hinojosa, the chair of the Texas Democratic Party, and our mutual friend Sheila Jackson Lee are powerhouses. And I've seen the gains that have been made there. And make no mistake about it, the Democratic Party is a 50-state party, and we will continue to compete heavily in Texas, in Florida, and everywhere across this country. That is a fact. It's how we won in 2018, and that's how we'll win in 2020. And I have no doubt that the cities of Houston and Miami will someday, in the very near future, host a convention. I'm thrilled to be here. You know, our choice of this city as our convention city does not guarantee success in this state in November. What will guarantee success is the work that was done for the past 2 years and the 2 years to come, to organize, to mobilize, to lead with our values. And while the choice of Milwaukee does not guarantee success, I will say this. Where you hold a convention is a very strong statement of your values. It's a very strong statement of who we are as a party and who and what we're fighting for. I firmly believe that. Milwaukee is a proud majority-minority city. Diversity is our greatest strength, and Democrats believe that diversity is and always will be one of the things that will always make America great. Milwaukee is a union town, a proud union town. And Democrats believe that unions brought us the middle class. And Democrats believe that these efforts undertaken by Republicans to undermine the labor movement, thank God he's the former governor of this state. Democrats believe that the union movement brought us the weekend. The union movement brings us shared prosperity. And Alex, I want to say thank you for the partnership that you have developed here at Fiserv with SEIU to make sure that all of the workers here are treated with dignity. If you sell peanuts, you shouldn't make peanuts for wages. And they understand that. This building was constructed with a project labor agreement, making sure that the people who were building this building made a middle-class wage. Those are the values of Milwaukee. Those are the values of Wisconsin. Those are the values of the Democratic Party. Until the most recent governor, before Governor Evers, Wisconsin had a proud tradition of supporting and investing in public higher education. Democrats believe that education is the great equalizer, and under this governor and lieutenant governor, we will show America once again what happens when you invest in public education. Wisconsin is a proud conservation state, or at least until the former governor was in office. And Democrats believe that protecting our environment is all about protecting our kids' future. And as we sit here in this LEED Silver certified facility, we're living our values. Wisconsin, under your former governor, didn't believe in expanding Medicaid. Democrats believe that health care is a right for all and not a privilege for a few. Governor Evers and Lieutenant Governor Barnes believe that as well, and they are carrying the mantle. And you may engage in shenanigans post-election, but you know what, folks? It's Democrats here in Wisconsin. They're going to fight to make sure if you're diabetic, you can get your insulin. If you're diabetic, we'll work to bring down the cost of your insulin so you're not rationing your insulin. People shouldn't be able not to afford to live. And that's what Democrats are fighting for every single day, the right to health care. And we will highlight that here in Wisconsin. I've heard people say the Midwest is the Rust Belt. We will show in 490 days that the Midwest is the Opportunity Belt. Opportunity in every zip code. Opportunity in every zip code. No matter who you are, no matter where you were born, no matter who you worship, no matter who you love, no matter what your first language was, si se habla español, oportunidad va a existir aquí. That's what Wisconsin's about. That's what the Midwest is about. That's what the Democratic Party is about. Opportunity for everyone. Wisconsin, under your former governor, made it harder for eligible people to vote. The Democratic Party believes that we should make it easier for eligible people to vote. And we will continue that fight. And we will continue that fight here and everywhere as part of the 2020 Democratic Party convention. So indeed, while holding this convention here will not guarantee success, we know how to succeed in the Midwest. And make no mistake about it, if, and I know it will be when, we replicate in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in 2020, the successes of 2018, folks, that's game, set, and match for Donald Trump. Now, there are many pathways to 270 electoral votes. And we will be going through every pathway because our message resonates in every pathway. Our cause resonates in every pathway. And this, I believe, folks, is the most important Democratic convention that we will have witnessed in our nation's history. And I believe that history will record, after we succeed in taking back our democracy, that in the spirit of the progressive movements of this great state of Wisconsin, Milwaukee in the 21st century recaptured that spirit, enabled them, enabled us, enabled America to take back our democracy. And so when those balloons drop in what would be 493 days from now, after people have been to Summerfest, after they've had a beer and a brat, maybe some vegan brats, who knows? Our party will be unified. We will have a unity of purpose. We will be organized. We will be ready to win. And we will go from here to celebrate with some damn fine union-made Milwaukee beer at the end of the night. And we will be hard at work. But folks, we need your help, because this is a significant undertaking. In my conversations with some of the people behind me, they have said that people have said, hey, if Wisconsin gets it, we will step up. I'm here to say it's time to step up. Because you're not only speaking for Wisconsin and Milwaukee, you are speaking for so many mid-sized cities across America who share your demographic profile, who share your vision, who share your hopes, who share your dreams, and will share your success. Because we all succeed only when we all succeed. And I am absolutely confident that we can do it. I'm absolutely confident that we can only do it together. And I'm absolutely confident that there's a lot of work to be done. Make no mistake about it. But we will do it together. We will succeed. We will then take back our democracy, and we will restore those values of opportunity and inclusion that have always been part of Wisconsin, that have always been part of America, and that are the envy of the world. So let's get to work. Let's start the next chapter. Let's sign a few things so we can formalize this, Mayor. Thank you. we got the fancy Bic.
I don't think you want this
I
thing.
got UW pen with a light.
This ain't the type of thing.
After I sign this, I would like to present this very fancy pen to Martha Love.
All right, yeah, there you go. There we go. You got the official joint right there.
I want to make sure. I think it is appropriate to present this pen to Martha Love. A lifetime trade unionist, a lifetime member of this community. Thank you for your leadership.
All right, I think we should do what we always do in Milwaukee after work. I think it's time for beer.
Yeah, who's paying?
And as luck would have it,